Steelers to consider others before you consider yourself, to protect your brother even from himself, to give support at your own expense, and when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. Approval from previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture.
Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the Steel Twins.
Steelers Nation, thank you kindly for tuning back into the channel on another edition of the Steeler Culture Podcast, where we break down Pittsburgh Steelers football. It is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It is Browns week. It is AFC North football week. It is Steelers game day week. We had a bye week last week, which is very relaxing.
And we won on that bye week.
Yes, we did. We didn't even play, but we won because every other AFC North team lost. And as a matter of fact, the last 2 weeks of the NFL season, every AFC North team has lost except the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's hope that it stays that way. And the Steelers got a great chance this week with I would say a favorable matchup for now versus the Browns, seeing that they have a rookie quarterback starting, Dillon Gabriel. It is at home for the Steelers, back at Heinz Field, and the defense has been popping off the last 2 weeks.
And the Browns, they're coming off 2 straight losses.
They sure are. At the same time, this is AFC North football we're talking about. It might not look pretty right now. It might be looking rough, especially down at the bottom with the Browns at 1-4, along with the Ravens. Not so far down is the Bengals at 2-3 and the Steelers at top 3-1. They have a great chance of forcing the Browns to be 1-5 and the Steelers to climb up top 4-1 before a short week next Thursday night. 1 week from today, we will be facing the Bengals, but we got to get through the first Ohio team first. That is the Browns. We can't take them lightly. We can't. Yes,
No.
They have a rookie quarterback playing. They're 1-4, but that's every inclination for the Steelers to be like, you know what, we don't got to go so rough in this one because they have a short week coming up with the Bengals. But that doesn't mean they should take them lightly because you can't.
No, and considering the fact that it's AFC North football at the end of the day. Now, I know the AFC North division hasn't exactly been the most convincing or the greatest so far to start the season, but it's still AFC North football. We know exactly what AFC North football is all about. Some of the most hard-hitting, more difficult football games out there. And this is the first test for the Steelers when it comes to going up against an AFC North division rival.
This is actually the first of obviously 6 AFC North games in this 13 straight week stretch that we have.
Long stretch,
for
bro.
stressful Steelers football. We got 13 straight games. We got a nice little mini bye after next week's game, a week from now versus the Bengals, but that's about it. That's about the extent of their little break. They got 13 straight games, and it starts this Sunday at Heinz Field versus the Browns. It's going to be I already say this is a must-win. It's only week 6, but this is must-win because of the AFC North factor. You know, we made a video earlier this week discussing the whole AFC North and breaking down the standings of where every team is at right now and how the Ravens got a chance to come back because of their easier schedule after their bye. The Steelers got a great prime chance to win these next 2 games. They can't take them lightly. This is AFC North football. It can go either way. Any given Sunday is what they say, right? I mean, the Browns, their only win this year is against the Packers with a last-second field goal.
Yes, and they had Joe Flacco start that game.
And Joe Flacco is no longer a Cleveland Brown. He's still in Ohio. He's just not in Cleveland.
No, he's with another AFC North team, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals.
And he'll be starting for the Bengals versus
the Packers.
The Packers. He'll get to face the Packers twice this year. And God forbid the Steelers trade for him before the Sunday football game. He might play against the Packers 3 times. I don't know. All he needs is the Steelers to make that full circle around the AFC North, right?
To gather all the Infinity Stones.
I guess.
That's not happening.
No,
nor do I want that to happen.
We don't want Joe Flacco here.
I'm good.
We're doing okay with Aaron Rodgers.
Who, by the way, actually is undefeated versus the Cleveland Browns in his career.
Undefeated.
Only faced him 3 times because, throughout his time with the Packers rarely faced the Browns, but 3-0 against them. With each performance, A-Rod has actually thrown 3 touchdowns in those games each. And the last time he faced the Browns was Christmas Day back in 2021.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
That was a nail-biter, but the Packers won that one, and A-Rod is undefeated versus Cleveland.
Yes.
Could he keep that streak alive?
I would hope so. Mike Tomlin, here's a little stat for you. Mike Tomlin is actually 26-6 versus rookie quarterbacks. 26-6.
It's a strong record.
And in regards to Cleveland and where those losses pile on Tomlin, Cleveland is responsible for 2 of those losses when it comes to rookie quarterbacks. The first one being against Brandon Weeden. Remembers that name, right?
Oh, God, that's been a minute.
That is so far deep into the Browns' starting quarterback list. Like he is sunk down there because of how many guys have started ever since that game. One of them being Dorian Thompson-Robinson, which was the last rookie quarterback that Tomlin lost to. That was a Cleveland Brown. That was back in 2023. I would rather not remember that game. That was the game I lost all hope for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
That sealed it for me with Kenny no hands over there, right?
Funny enough, he was a Brown for a short term, and now he's a Raider.
We could have had Kenny Pickett versus the Steelers, but they didn't even let him make it past preseason.
No, it doesn't help that Pickett got hurt. And, they already invested 2 draft picks in quarterbacks and Joe Flacco. Kenny wasn't going to outbeat any of them.
No.
They weren't going to keep 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I had a strong prediction he wasn't even going to make the roster, and he didn't. Thus, he's, I think, a Raider now?
A Raider. He's the backup for Geno. I don't know if that's really a good quarterback room over there, but that's their problem.
They drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. In the 3rd round was Dillon Gabriel out of Oregon, 5'11", left-handed. And then you got Shedeur Sanders, 5th-round pick, who is now the number 2 quarterback since Flacco is gone.
Well, according to Kevin Stefanski, he hasn't exactly given a clear answer on who is QB2.
Who the hell is it?
It's either Sanders or good old enemy, Bailey Zappi.
He's a Brown?
Yes. He was on the Browns practice squad.
Just make Shedeur the 2. Make him happy.
That's the Browns situation, bro.
Just make him happy.
That is their quarterback situation, which is no surprise to us.
There is going to be a game at some point where Shedeur will be the starting quarterback, and everybody is going to eat it up because, obviously, of his last name.
Of course.
That could be this Sunday. I don't want to roll anything out. Maybe Gabriel plays so bad that Stefanski's like, hey, Shedeur, go up in there. Go in there. Everyone had Shedeur going to the Steelers come April draft night. You guys know we didn't want him.
No.
We wanted Derek Harmon, who we got. We were very spoiled during the draft, as a matter of fact, because most of the guys that me and Rob wanted, we got, which was Derek Harmon, which was Caleb Johnson, which was Will Howard. We actually got very spoiled during the draft.
Yeah, a little bit.
Shedeur fell all the way to the 5th. I'm sure at some point he'll start. It's not going to be this Sunday. Dillon Gabriel will be the guy. Dillon Gabriel did solid last week. His first career start was overseas versus the Vikings. They lost, obviously. Gabriel didn't look too bad, but I think a lot of his game was solely because of Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski is still their top play caller.
He's in his 6th season as Browns head coach.
Yeah, this guy's lasting longer than any other quarterback.
Yeah.
Or any other,
quarterback and coach at that.
Yes.
for the Browns. I mean, he's a 2-time Coach of the Year winner. I mean, he has his seasons where he's Coach of the Year. He's a top coach. But then there's seasons like this where it's like, Stefanski, what's going on here?
Yeah, and his play calling has been very, very conservative, especially with a guy like Dillon Gabriel. Now, that could be because he's a rookie. That also could be because Dillon Gabriel lacks accuracy down the field, and they don't want him throwing down the field. Is that something they're going to entertain in this game? Well, with him being a little more experienced under center behind the offensive line, they're probably going to open things up more for Dillon Gabriel, especially against the Steelers defense that has been strong the past 2 weeks. They didn't start off well the first two, but the last two, 7 turnovers, 11 sacks.
49 pressures.
49 pressures. How many points total? How many points total have they allowed the last 2 weeks? Not much.
Very minimal.
Very minimal. So the defense has been strong. They still allow chunk plays here and there. They still allow things in the middle of the field. But I'm still very confident about the Steelers defense in this one. You have to. The past 2 weeks, they've been strong against a rookie quarterback at home. Coming off the bye, I think you got to favor the Steelers defense versus Dillon Gabriel. It's still a matter of they can't sleep on him. They can't take him lightly because Dillon Gabriel, he's got a line that hasn't been too strong. It's a little beat up. They got some guys on IR. They don't have a good left tackle for him right now. Most of that line's kind of been there a little longer, like Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin on the right side. But behind him is Judkins.
Quinshon Judkins, man, fellow rookie, and to be real, star of the offense this season.
He is literally the only thing for that offense. Jerry Jeudy hasn't done much.
No, Jeudy doesn't even have 200 yards.
David Njoku's very solid. And I got to give props to Njoku. He has been probably one of the longest tenured Browns along with Myles Garrett. There's not many Browns that stick around. One of them was Jabril Peppers, right? Who's now with the Steelers and I think should get more playing time. He was drafted in that same draft class with Garrett and Njoku, I believe.
Yes.
He's no longer there. He got sent to the Patriots. Now he's with the Steelers. But you look at guys like Garrett, guys like Njoku. They have stuck there through a lot.
Yeah.
And I got to give him and Garrett props on that because when you look at the Browns and you look at their roster, not too many stick around. One of them being, of course, Baker Mayfield. They had him. They had their guy. It's just the system and then the environment. And then it's just the fact that Cleveland overall is not a good organization. They can't get it right in a lot of areas, especially at the quarterback position. Thus, they're still trying. They're still trying. Deshaun Watson didn't pan out. He's out for the entire year. And they're relying on 2 rookie quarterbacks this year to do something.
Yeah.
Something.
Give them some sort of a life on offense.
But speaking of the rookies, they are relying on the rookies a lot this year because not only with Gabriel and eventually Shador, I do believe he will at some point start, Judkins has been pretty much the life of that offense. We can't underestimate him at all.
No, and that's going to be a challenge is slowing down Quinshon Judkins. Ever since he's basically put on a Browns jersey and signed on the dotted line just before week 1 of the NFL season, Judkins has made his name well known throughout the NFL, early in his NFL career.
Yeah.
Judkins, I mean, I remember scouting him and Trevion Henderson, the 2 Ohio State backs.
Best running back duo last year in college.
And both of them were good. And, people made arguments, Henderson's better, Judkins is better. I always viewed both backs as very capable do-it-all backs. And Judkins has already proven that as a Brown.
Yes.
Stopping him is going to be a challenge, but it's what they have to do. Now, the past 2 games, as a matter of fact, I believe, Steelers' rush defense has improved drastically compared to the first 2.
Compared to the first 2 where they allowed 30 points each game and 100-yard rushers each game, they have been very, very good at minimizing the points and minimizing the rushing attack for the opposing offense. That's got to apply in this one. I think you got to force Gabriel to throw the ball. You can't allow him to rely on Judkins in the run game because that's exactly what the Browns are going to try to do. They're going to try to rely on the rookie backs, which is Judkins. I know they got Jerome Ford as number 2, but don't sleep on a Dylan Sampson, very young, capable back, right?
Speedy back as well, too.
He is. They're going to rely on that a lot. You got to force the game into Gabriel's hands. I feel like if you do that, I think the Steelers, we know what the defense is capable of. We know they can get to the quarterback. They are really entertaining. Entertaining, thank you. The blitz packages a ton more. And they're coming away with sacks with a lot of them, with Elliott, with Queen, with Wilson. Herbig. I mean, it's finding a lot of success now. Doing that to a rookie quarterback and making him feel pressured and force some mistakes, I like the matchup. I don't want to underestimate him because you can't. Here's one thing. We know what the defense is capable of, and they have too much talent to be doing what they did the first 2 weeks. But because of that, you still can't underestimate anybody, especially in the AFC North division. You can't underestimate anybody no matter what they're going up against, no matter who you're looking at across the field. But Dillon Gabriel hasn't forced a turnover. He hasn't given the ball away at all.
No.
Which is every inkling to think, you know what, this guy's kind of due to hit that rookie wall, isn't he? I know it's his second career start, but against the Steelers defense that's been very dumb the last 2 weeks, I think the defense got to attack Gabriel. Force the ball into his hands, force him to make the Browns come back, and then you just got to attack him. Let him feel that welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, it's a favorable matchup in regards to the Steelers defense, what they've done the 2 games before the bye and going up against a rookie quarterback. Though Gabriel, against a Brian Flores-led Vikings defense, and the defense is still good in my opinion, Gabriel, in my opinion, looked fine. For his first career start, he didn't panic. He didn't feel pressured. He spread the ball around. He did what he needed to do. But did they win? No. But Gabriel, as far as performing, he did what he needed to do, and he was safe with the football. That could have been a big benefactor of Stefanski, just trying to get him comfortable with the offense and comfortable with the NFL speed. Now that he's got a game under his belt, maybe they're looking to expand Gabriel's capabilities.
Sure.
But nonetheless, you don't want to underestimate Gabriel. But the performance that Gabriel did, though, was fine. How long is that going to continue?
Well, I also got to mention, and huge shout out to Joe Hayden, you know. They do that Debo and Joe show with James Harrison and them.
Of course.
He really kind of let his opinions out there about the Browns organization as a whole and what they did with Dillon Gabriel. And if you watch the game, whether that was live or you watch the replay or whatever, you look at the game, you see what the Browns were doing with Dillon Gabriel. Most of the time when Gabriel sailed the ball past the line of scrimmage for 10, 15, 20 yards, the ball sailed a lot. He has no accuracy. He didn't hit his targets. A lot of the passes down the field were missed. Whether most of his completions were dunk-offs, dink and dunks, short passes. Probably to get him comfortable. Maybe they wanted to eliminate the flaws of him throwing the ball down the field. Either way, I don't know if that's going to fly versus the Steelers. I don't know if that's going to fly. So whether they want to entertain or give Gabriel the opportunity to throw the ball down the field, with him being in a second career start, you would think they're going to open things up. But Stefanski, for a while, has always had a conservative, approach offensively. That could be because of the quarterback situation. He hasn't had a legitimate quarterback pretty much in forever. I guess Baker was that guy, and we know what Baker's at now. He's with the Bucs and killing it.
Yes.
And I got to give huge props and major respect to Baker. He hasn't really changed a lot from his Browns days. It's just he's in a better organization, a better system, a better coaching staff. And it goes to show you, coaching absolutely matters.
It does.
And coaching hasn't really done a lot of success for the Browns. And, of course, the Browns overall just can't find success either way. So, Dillon Gabriel, I don't know what more they're going to open for him. But either way, the Steelers defense got to come in to attack him.
No, regardless, it's going to be a challenge for Gabriel, especially with the targets that he's got. Judy is capable. He had 1,000 yards last year in his first year as a Brown. Not doing much this year. Again, only 200 yards. I don't even think he has a touchdown this year.
Yeah.
So that connection isn't helping there. They lost Cedric Tillman to IR. He's put on IR. They've gotten Isaiah Bond a little bit more involved offensively. I'm not really concerned about him, though I don't want to underestimate him.
I'm worried about his speed.
His speed is definitely going to be challenging.
We know the talent he is. We know why he fell and why, I think he went undrafted.
He did go undrafted.
We know why, because of legal troubles that were obviously, not true. But we know the talent he is. I mean, those receivers down there are just crazy, right? So, Judy, we know how much of a route runner he is and what he can do when he can get open. Same thing with Bond. And the tight ends that they have. Another one being Harold Finnan, one of their rookies, right?
Yeah.
And then Njoku can get up down the field. It's not that Gabriel doesn't have the targets. It's just a matter of hitting them down the field and Stefanski scheming the offense up to find success for them.
Which has not been successful.
No.
Even when Flacco was in there, their passing offense is not consistent. It's not good.
In fact, any passes of 10 yards or more last week for Gabriel, there was only 3 completions. Only 3. And I believe there were 7 incompletions.
Jeez.
So, yeah. And a lot of his completions were either at the line of scrimmage or within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. A lot of dunk-offs. A ton of them. You look at the next-gen stat sheet, it is very evident of what you would expect from a Matt Canada offense. Very evident.
Yeah.
So defensively for the Steelers, I like the matchup. I don't want to sleep on them. You can't take them lightly, because the second you do that is when we have, one of those games where they play down to the competition. They let a rookie quarterback, I don't want to say carve them up, but essentially have one of their better days, one of their better games, right? We can't allow that this week. The defense got to come out strong. Offensively, listen, the offense last week not last week, versus the Vikings, they had probably one of the more complete games. They got points off turnovers. They were able to get the ground game going. Kenneth Gainwell had a very good game, almost 100 yards rushing, 100 total yards overall together. We'll be getting Jalen Warren back in this one, so that's going to be a massive add. What Tomlin is insinuating is they're going to continue to run up with the 12 jumbo sets, with the more dominant run-blocking tight ends, which is, of course, Darnell Washington. We might see a little more Jonnu in there as a blocker, but I can anticipate more of Spencer Anderson seeing reps as that extra tight end or that extra lineman in 12 jumbo, which saw a reason for the success of the rushing game. You add Warren back to the equation, and then you have him split reps with Gainwell or in pony situations. Maybe we can continue to build off of what they did last week. Not last week versus the Vikings, 2 weeks ago.
The last game Steelers played, yes.
But what the adjustments were and what they added to the offense is exactly what they needed to do. They couldn't find a way to get the run game going at all. They were arguably worse than the Bengals were the first couple weeks. Then you saw what they did versus the Vikings and the adjustments they made and the personnel they put on the field.
And that was without Jalen Warren, keep in mind.
Yeah,
Gainwell
major success.
The game plan that they had using a lot of Darnell Washington, he outsnapped all the tight ends, basically. They implemented more of Spencer Anderson as that extra tight end in there just to help with the run blocking. You knew what the game plan was, and it worked to perfection. Gainwell stepped in, he looked good, and the offense flowed pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of the more better performances so far this season for the Steelers offense. And that was against, again, a Brian Flores-led Vikings defense.
Sure.
Which is a very good defense in my opinion. Now they're going up against a Browns defense that currently is the top rushing defense statistically and the number 2 overall ranked defense in the league.
Yeah, their defense is pretty good.
It's still good. And it's led by Jim Schwartz. He's been their coordinator for, I think
it's his second year.
Yeah, he was their coordinator last year. And, their defense has always been good the past number of years. It's always been credible. It's just they can do their part, and the defense is the best part of their team, but there's only so much that they can do. Very reminiscent of the Steelers defense years ago when our offense couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
There's only so much that a great defense can do. But the Browns defense is no joke. And they got a lot of key guys. Most importantly, of course, Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
we all know what he can do.
I'm sorry. I think Jim Schwartz is coming to his third year as coordinator.
Okay, third year.
Third year, but either way, yeah, you got Myles Garrett, and then in the draft, continuing on with the rookies, right? They added Mason Graham, interior. He's had a strong start. Same thing with linebacker Carson Schweisinger from UCLA.
Yeah,
he's been one of their leading tacklers and one of their lead guys in their rushing attack. Beside him is Devin Bush. We know what Devin Bush can do.
Yeah,
we know what Devin Bush is capable of, and it's not much. But they added Jerome Baker. I don't know when that happened, but they added Jerome Baker at some point, and he's playing alongside those guys too.
Well, you see, they're trying to fill the void because they are without the Joker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, because he did suffer that unfortunate neck injury. I think it was last year, and he's still recovering from it. He's not going to play this year, unfortunately.
No, that's a big loss for such a very talented player
and young player at that too.
Very talented player. You got Malik Collins interior as well, so you see why their rushing attack has been very dominant. Their rush defense has been one of the better ones. So this is going to be an interesting matchup to see how Tomlin and the offense and Arthur Smith are going to scheme up the rushing game. Tomlin always says, against a 4-3 defense, you're not going to run the ball effectively with, smaller tight ends like a Jonnu or like a Pat Freiermuth. Thus, they're going to incorporate a lot more of the 12 jumbo, a lot more of the extra guys along the line to find some success. Is that going to work versus the Browns? Obviously, we hope so. I'm sure they're going to maneuver Spencer Anderson in ways where on the left side, they're going to pair him alongside Broderick, which is really going to help with going up against Myles Garrett. So I can anticipate a lot of that. Maybe they stay away from Myles Garrett. Maybe they run towards that right side with Futanu and McCormick leading the way. And that could find a lot of success.
Yeah.
Maybe they stay away from Garrett. You know how opposing offenses go up against the Steelers defense and they stay away from TJ Watt. They run away from TJ Watt and they find some success, where they did to start the season. Steelers might have the same game plan. Stay away from Garrett. Wherever Garrett's going to be lined up, stay away from him. But the thing is with Garrett is, he might be chipped or he might have a double, triple team, but he always has that linebacker outside of him to still contain the run game, which is why their defense and their rushing attack has been so good. So can we incorporate maybe a pulling guard along the way to get him up that second level to open up the rushing game with Warren coming back? It'll be interesting to see how they're going to try to find some success with the rushing game, because still that's their bread and butter. That's their go-to. And I'm sure they're going to want to try to get the ball out of A-Rod's hands as much as possible against this rushing or this pass rush attack led by Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
So I think offensively, you still got to get a rushing game going. With Warren coming back and the success they've had, just continue to build on top of that. Just find ways to get some yardage up the middle or mostly outside, but away from Garrett's presence, in my opinion. In terms of the passing attack, they got rid of Greg Newsome literally just last night.
Yeah.
They traded Greg Newsome and a 6th-round pick, an early 6th-round pick, as it was the Jets' 6th-round pick that they had. They traded those two away to the Jaguars for Tyson Campbell and an eventual late 7th-round pick.
Honestly, I think the Browns lost that.
That's a downsize. Now, contractually, I guess the Jags just wanted to dump it off. And, of course, Greg Newsome's coming into a contract year. He'll probably be a free agent. So whether the Jags, they might have to pay Newsome a similar contract what they paid Campbell after 2022. And in that case, that might allow them, or that might force them to cough up more for Newsome, as in my opinion, he's a better corner. Maybe that's going to, maybe Campbell was just a dump off for the Jags because they know they're going to have to pay Devin Lloyd, as he's had 4 picks to start the year.
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd's been one of the better linebackers to start the season. So look at it either way. The Browns could be looking at it as, Newsome wanted to change the scenery. They wanted to bring in Campbell, maybe get him back to what his status was before this contract extension he got from the Jags. Either way, I still think it's a downsize. I think it's a worse add. I think they are downgrading from the cornerback position opposite of Ward. Campbell has not been good. And how much time is he going to play in this game?
No, and then that's, his performance, Campbell's, that's dating back to last year.
Yeah.
Like Campbell, at one point, he was solid. He was good, hence why he got that extension. But since that extension that the Jags gave him, Campbell has not lived up to that contract, nor the money.
And maybe that's because of coaching change and a scheme change. Maybe he's just not a fit there. So perhaps maybe a change of scenery to the Browns with Jim Schwartz might do him some favors. But overall, Campbell hasn't been good, and I don't know if he's going to be immediately put into that number 2 role. Is he going to be on a snap reducement because he's coming in literally midweek? Either way, I like the matchup. You got Denzel Ward, who's always been a strong corner. So
and he's been just like Garrett and Njoku. He's been there a long time.
Yeah.
He's been through it all as well. So, and he's been their consistent lockdown cornerback, the number 1 corner. He's a good one.
He is. But, you got DK Metcalf going up against Denzel Ward, or when Denzel Ward's not going up against DK, you got presumably DK versus Tyson Campbell. I think that's a mismatch.
Yeah.
I think that's a size and a speed mismatch. Or let's say Ward blankets or follows DK throughout the whole game. First of all, I still favor DK in a way based off of what he did versus the Vikings. I think we got to incorporate him in the slot more. That's another add I'll give the offense versus the Vikings, is they move DK around a bit, which is a good thing. You line him up in the slot, you get him on the crosser, you let him use his speed and his yak ability, which is why he did what he did.
And you saw the Vikings and Brian Flores, they were not prepared for that.
No.
Because the Steelers, they hardly move around the wide receivers. And the Steelers and Arthur Smith, they were like, you know what, let's move this guy around.
Yeah.
Let's use him, Arthur Smith, ideally. Let's use DK Metcalf in a similar situation to how I used a young A.J. Brown. And we all know what he did in Tennessee.
Yes.
And it worked to perfection. It worked greatly, especially with DK's yak ability. That's something that they need to continue to incorporate and do.
And I think as a secondary, I think that's a favorable matchup for DK. But solely DK, because it doesn't look like Calvin's going to be playing in this game. In fact, he didn't participate with a shoulder injury yesterday. And I don't know what the injury report is. I don't know if they released it yet today. But it doesn't look like Calvin's going to play in this game. Who's the wide receiver 2?
According to Mike Tomlin, the next man to get that opportunity is either Roman Wilson or Scotty Miller.
Really?
That's what he said in his press conference.
Not Skoranek?
No, not Skoranek. No.
Really?
Tomlin said ideally, the guy to step up or fill in the void is Roman Wilson or Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, like, there's no better time to give Roman Wilson the opportunity than right now because Calvin's hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no better time for him to get an increase in reps and targets than this game, than these next couple of weeks with Calvin being out.
And who knows how long he's supposed to be out. According to Duel, like he just said, several weeks. How long that exactly is, we don't know. It's just several weeks.
Yeah.
Could it mean Austin goes on IR for a minimum of 4 weeks? I figured they would have done that by now. They haven't done it yet.
No.
Doesn't mean that they won't do it. I just figured they would have already done it.
I don't
but
think they will.
It's still not out the realm of possibility.
No, I don't think they will because they didn't even put Highsmith on it.
No, that's true. That's true.
And Highsmith, he could be back for this one. He was limited with an ankle yesterday. He could be back.
Yeah.
JPJ will be back. He was a full participant, and JPJ said himself he will be back. So those are the guys from the injury aspect that could play, that could not play. Ramsey won't play. I wouldn't anticipate Calvin to play. JPJ said he'll be back. Warren, I would anticipate will be back. And Highsmith is still a question mark. Still a question mark. But at wide receiver, yeah, get Roman the opportunity. Now, Tomlin also added that a reason for him not getting as many reps, was not getting as many opportunities, is because of the personnel usage, because of the game plan that they have, which is running the ball, like versus the Vikings. Roman Wilson only saw 3
offensive snaps. Yeah,
that was the lowest of any offensive player for the Steelers in that game, 3. And that's mostly due to their game plan and the personnel they wanted to find the most success for that game plan, which was running the ball.
And listen, it worked. It was working, and then the Vikings couldn't figure out a way to stop it. If they're not stopping it, you keep running with it. If it's a winning recipe, you keep running with that formula.
But in this game, you got to give Roman the chance. I don't anticipate Calvin to play. I like Scotty, and I like his speed, and, A-Rod likes him a lot from camp and everything. But you got to give Roman the opportunity here. If there's someone that needs to step up, it's Roman. But that has to come with the reps. You can't have him step up if you don't give him the reps or you don't give him the opportunity. Most of the time when he's out there, he's just doing cardio or he's just jogging. You got to allow him to run routes and give A-Rod the opportunity to give him the ball. This is a game for Roman to step up. If he doesn't get the reps, or let's say he does get the reps and he still doesn't step up, then I don't know anymore about Roman, dude. I really don't.
This is his time to shine, man.
It really comes down to the coaches giving him the opportunity and then him making the most out of it.
Yeah, like they got to scheme up proper routes for Roman Wilson to use his route running and separation capabilities that he showcased back in Michigan. Because we know how quick he is when he's off the line of scrimmage and trying to create separation.
He's got great speed. He has the route running capabilities, and he's always had strong hands.
Yeah.
Give him the chance here.
But the routes that they've been giving him when Calvin was healthy, when he was playing, was just simply go routes. They constantly had him go up and just be a distraction.
He's running cardio.
But that should not be the case for Roman with Calvin out. No, they got to give him the right routes in order for Roman to win those battles. Roman's got to win those battles, but draw up proper routes, a proper passing game for Roman to succeed, for him to get involved, for him to be the primary target for that, to see if Roman can capitalize on that, if he can prove his worth.
Yeah, I agree.
For him to continue to be involved with the offense, even when Calvin comes back. There's no better time to get Roman Wilson involved and see if he can take that next step.
You got to give the young guy the chance. You drafted him in the 3rd round. At some point, you got to give him the opportunity. With Calvin out, this is kind of no greater chance for him, right? I get what their game plan is going to be, and they're going to have different personnel on the field to succeed that game plan, which is why we're probably still going to see Ben Skoranek or Scotty Miller see more snaps than a guy like Roman. We got Joey Weaver with a 199. Says,
"What's up, guys? Hey, Joey, how you doing today?"
We're doing great.
We're doing good, Joey.
Hope you guys are doing good, man. Shout out to the chat. You guys are great, sticking with us. We got 92 of you guys in here, man. Thank y'all very much for tuning in for the Browns versus Steelers preview, man. There's a poll in the chat. How many takeaways by the Steelers defense versus the Browns? 0, 1, 2, or 3?
So far, 44% has 2.
I think a minimum of 2. I think a minimum of 2 for sure.
I can see 2.
We got CW in the chat. Says, utilize the tight ends. I agree. But if their plan is to run the ball, I doubt they're going to utilize their tight ends in the passing attack. Although, let's say the run game doesn't find success because the Browns' defensive line is strong. And the offensive line did good versus the Vikings. In fact, I think the offensive line overall the past couple weeks has steadily improved.
No, and they got to continue to build upon that.
But this is their biggest test.
This is coming off a bye week.
You got a young, hungry cat in Mason Graham. You got one of the best edge rushers, not the best because that's Watt. One of the best in Myles Garrett. I had to put it out there, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You got Myles Garrett. You know, you got Collins in there who's a big body. This is a big test for the line, man. It really is. If the run game doesn't get going, then yes. Offensively, from a passing standpoint, you got to find a way to get the ball down the field. You can't just rely on DK and that's it. That's not going to work.
No.
That's not going to work. So, either way, man, whether you're succeeding with the run game or whether you're not, you got to get guys involved. That's more of an opportunity for Roman. I want to see some targets for Scotty because I really like his speed in the slot. If they run 11 personnel, we'll see. I'm sure they're going to run some 21 personnel. They're going to run a lot of pony with Warren and Gainwell for sure. But you got Jonnu, who is heavily underutilized. Same thing for Frymuth, and he's getting paid too much to not be used.
Mm-hmm.
And Darnell, he got 3 catches versus the Vikings, which is a good thing. More towards his way, more towards all the tight ends.
Yeah, and again, back to Calvin Austin being out. Again, give Roman the opportunity. But at the same time, if Roman doesn't do anything, then use your tight ends. Because Jonnu, he's done practically nothing outside that touchdown versus the Jets.
Yeah, because
he doesn't even have 80 yards. Freiermuth has 65. You're paying both these tight ends a little over $12 million each, and this is what you're using them like?
Yeah, what was the idea? What was the plan of extending Muth and then trading for Jonnu if you're not going to use them in the passing attack? Or if you knew you were going to run a lot of 12 with Darnell and Spencer Anderson or whatever, if the idea was still to utilize them mainly in a blocking aspect, why trade for Jonnu? Why extend Muth when you know he's not capable there? That's kind of boneheaded in my opinion.
A little bit.
So offensively, Arthur Smith's got to find a way to get these tight ends going, especially a guy like Jonnu. Especially someone like him.
Yeah.
You know, they view him as a
utility weapon.
Swiss Army knife.
A tight end, fullback, slot receiver.
Like a slash. Not Cordell, but like a slash. Because he can play tight end. He can play fullback. He could play receiver. I'm sure we're going to see him outside opposite of, of Metcalf. We can see him in the slot for sure.
Is that a swear jar?
He's got that yak ability. The thing with Jonnu, though, is the more you see him using the passing attack, it's mostly just short yardage situations or like screens, designed screens, which I get. He's got the yak ability. He's got the athleticism. He's got the athleticism of a wide receiver, but the build of a tight end. The thing is, get him going down the field. Like, get him some routes down the middle, down up the seams, right? Like they did, what game was that? Versus the Patriots?
The Patriots, the 21-yard completion.
They got him on a skinny post. More of that. More of that. Get him on a crosser. Get him on a couple slants. Get him going down the field. That's where his impact is going to be. Not at the line of scrimmage. I get he's a yak guy, but let's stop being so safe with the ball and throw it down the field a little bit.
Let's not bring him in for one purpose, and that's to have him use his yak ability. Can he do it? Yes, he's done it before, time and time again throughout his career.
Yeah.
But should that be the priority? If that is the priority, no, that shouldn't be. Jonnu is very capable at stretching the football field.
Agreed.
He's done it. He did it versus the Patriots at 21-yard completion. He did it for the Dolphins last year a lot. That's where he really stood out. Really came into his own. He's very capable of doing that. And Arthur, there's no other coach that knows Jonnu Smith other than Arthur Smith, obviously.
Yeah.
So you figure Arthur Smith would have an idea of how to utilize Jonnu and have him stretch the field. For some reason he's not. With Austin out, if Roman Wilson don't step up in that spot, or Scotty Miller or Ben Skoranek, whoever's stepping up, time is now to use your tight ends.
Yeah, for sure.
A guy like Jonnu or even a guy like Muth, he's a guy that can also stretch the field. That could be utilized middle of the field. That could be reliable on third down situations. Like, you have very two capable receiving tight ends. I don't understand why the limitations are there in using both tight ends. I don't get it.
It's just because they're run heavy and they figured we got other tight ends that can do better that those guys can do, and that's the main game plan. Which, again, begs the question, why trade for Jonnu? Why extend Muth if you're not going to use them in the passing game? You know they're not capable blockers. They're better receivers. They're like, they're extra slot weapons. but they don't use them as such. They're just kind of there. They kind of just play a body on the field, right? They don't see a lot of targets. They don't see a lot of advancement in the passing attack.
No.
They're just there.
No, they haven't used them to their best traits. And I get why, because of the game plan. And that was evident with Darnell out-snapping both of them and every other tight end.
Sure.
Because that worked. But against the Browns' rush defense, though, I'm not saying, avoid it, because you definitely want to try to establish a rushing game. But again, with Calvin out, if you need to provide something passing-wise for A-Rod, for him to have another reliable target or targets at that, it's these two, and Jonnu and Muth.
This is where a guy like Arthur Smith has got to open things up. He's got to get creative. He's got to get the juices flowing up in that brain of his, and he's got to find a way to get the ball to certain targets. How can I get Jonnu going up the field? How can I get the ball to Freiermuth? How can I utilize the youth and the speed of Roman and Scotty?
As a matter of fact, Muth don't have a touchdown yet.
No.
Muth don't have a touchdown yet.
No.
I know a lot that's been given to Metcalf. He's been incredible at that. Gainwell's been incredible, just handing the ball off to him. He's gotten 3 touchdowns in the red zone. And the Steelers' red zone offense is actually much more improved compared to last year, or just years down the line. Like, much improved. Their red zone offense is actually pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they actually have not targeted Muth in that area yet. They've actually showcased or tried to target Washington, which I have no problem with, because that's a mismatch, 100%. You want a guy of that stature, that size, throw the ball up to him 9 times out of 10, that's a mismatch.
Especially in the red zone.
For Washington.
Especially in the red zone.
But incorporate Muth in that a little bit, too, because a lot of his touchdowns, I think, throughout his career were also within the red zone.
It's a matter of the Steelers have strength in numbers.
And they have guys that they can spread the ball around.
Yes.
Kind of my argument right here. Like, just spread the wealth, spread the ball around.
No, they got, like I said, strength in numbers. They have Roman, Scotty, Skoranek, who's an underrated receiver. They got 3 capable tight ends. They have the numbers to make up for the loss of Calvin and a wide receiver 2 overall. It's a matter of getting them involved, getting them targets, and obviously a lot of it has to do with the O-line. The biggest issue why we couldn't get a run game going the first couple weeks was the O-line.
Yeah.
The reason why we couldn't get yards down the field, and sometimes still can't, is the O-line. We don't take deep shots down the field. We don't. Most of A-Rod's stuff is pretty intermediate. It's pretty short, and that's a lot of just yak ability from DK or Calvin, right? Or Warren. We've seen Warren have some explosive plays as a receiver too. A lot of the line has to do with them not getting the ball to certain guys, or just them being limited as a passing attack as a whole. I think A-Rod still has the arm to do it. He's still got the smarts, the accuracy, the touch there to get the ball down the field, to get aggressive down there. It's a matter of, obviously, guys getting open, and that's another struggle we've seen with the offense is certain guys just can't get open down the field. That could be due to the route assignments. That could just be to the limitations of these guys as receivers. It could also just be because, hey, the line just can't protect long enough. And in this game, that's another big test. Without a doubt, the player that has to step up the most out of everybody in this game is going to be Broderick Jones.
Yes.
He's going up against Myles Garrett.
As a matter of fact, the next 3 games, he's got huge tests. And it starts with Garrett. Because after Garrett, you got Hendrickson on a short week, Thursday night. Then you got, of course, Micah Parsons.
God.
So, like this is where it starts for Broderick Jones to really, showcase, hey, you can be the guy over there at left tackle. Yet we know that Broderick had a very slow and sluggish and horrible start to the season. Past 2 weeks, Broderick's slowly coming to his own. He's played overall well. He's done his assignment. He's done his job. He's improved the past 2 weeks.
He has.
But this, especially coming off a bye, this is the real true test for Broderick.
Yeah.
And Myles Garrett, the guy's no joke. The guy's no joke. The guy's one of the best, obviously. Broderick, man. You got to play. You got to step up. You got to perform. You got to hold that left position down.
Yeah, in fact, the first 2 games, he allowed 4 sacks and 7 pressures. The last 2 games, he's allowed 0 sacks and only 3 pressures.
Again, he's improved.
He has. A lot of his bad stuff came from the first 2 games, but the last 2, he's been exactly why we traded up for him in the first. He hasn't been all perfect, and there's still a lot of concerns with a lot of his game, and mostly technique or hand usage or just leaving himself open for the edge rusher to get him off balance pretty easily. There's still concerns there with Broderick where I think that's all coachable, but we don't have the coaching guy to teach him the proper things.
No, I still don't trust
Most
Meyer.
of the time, he's essentially standing straight up, which is not exactly the stance you want him to be before the snap. that should set that most of the time that's setting him up for a lot of failure. So overall, as a tackle, his play's been good, but most of his technique is still kind of rough. And that's mostly on coaching.
Yeah,
that's mostly on coaching.
And it's about leverage. Like, he needs to have that leverage, before the ball is snapped.
Yeah. But these next 3 weeks is going to be a true test and more of a tell for Broderick Jones. You got Myles Garrett, you got Hendrickson, like Rob said, then you got Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge, huge stretch of games for a guy like Broderick. If there's anyone that's got to step up out of everybody, it's him. Big test. I'm pretty sure he is going to be aided a lot. I'm sure we're going to see Warren in the backfield in pass protection. We're going to see Gainwell in some chips. He'll chip Garrett and then go out for a probably short dunk, right? Same thing with Darnell. I would have Darnell on Broderick's side most of the game. I would help out Broderick as much as possible.
I agree.
Broderick has been solid the past 2 weeks, but I still don't have full faith in him to go up against someone like Garrett. I would absolutely aid him out as much as possible. The way teams go up against TJ Watt, where they chip him with 3 or 4 guys multiple times. He's the most chipped pass rusher in the league already through the first 5 weeks, and he didn't play last week.
No.
He has like 60 to 70 chips already this season.
And I don't think that's a lack of the opposing teams having confidence in their right tackle. It's just the fact of the matter of that's their game plan, is limiting and slowing down and trying to stop TJ Watt as much as possible.
That should be the Steelers' game plan, too.
That needs to be the game plan. It's not a lack of confidence of Broderick holding his own. It's just not ideal. I know, but he's played the past 2 weeks. I'm trying to give him some credit here.
Go ahead.
Listen, like when it comes to going up against a top premier superstar pass rusher, it's not ideal to leave your tackle one-on-one against him. You got to find a way to slow down their star defender, and that's Myles Garrett.
Yeah, because
that's just smart coaching right there.
Because they didn't do that last year, and Garrett had 2 sacks against us last year or something like that.
Wasn't that the Browns game in Cleveland Thursday night?
Pretty sure it was.
The snow game. Yeah,
pretty sure it was. I didn't see much chipping. We just left him out there with Dan Moore most of the game.
Oh, because Dan Moore had experience. That's why.
No. In this game, coaching-wise, you got to find a way to limit him, and that's going to open the rushing attack, and that's absolutely going to open a lot for the passing game with A-Rod. You got to protect A-Rod. You have to. You got to give him time.
Yeah.
If their plan is to open up the playbook and get the ball out to certain targets with Calvin out, which should absolutely be, the thing that they're going into this Sunday thinking is, we don't have our number 2. We don't have our trusted number 2. Let's spread the ball around. Let's get these guys going. We haven't got them going all year. Now's the time with Calvin out. We got to stretch the field a little more. Let's spread the ball around. Let's have A-Rod connect with all these receivers. Let's keep the defense guessing. Where's the ball going?
Yeah.
Take some pressure off of DK, right? I'm sure he'll be going up against Ward and probably going up against double teams with a safety up top. Someone like Delpit or who's their other safety? Hickman, I think?
Yeah, Ronnie Hickman from the Ohio State.
Yeah. So, offensively, you got to give A-Rod time and you got to open things up in the passing attack. But I'm sure their go-to is still going to get Warren involved, get Warren going. Warren hasn't had much success this year.
No.
And the one game they get a rushing game going, Warren is unfortunately out. But this is a chance for him to get things going as well.
Yeah, and Warren back into the lineup healthy now. I mean, that just increases their chances offensively overall. Because Warren is a very good back. Versatile, can do it all. We know what Warren's capable of.
Warren's awesome.
It's just a matter of the game plan that they had versus the Vikings kind of do something similar versus the Browns. Although their rush defense statistically is top tier, number 1. Still, you got to try to find a way to utilize Warren, a bit of that game plan from the Vikings, take a sample of that into this game, just mix it up a little bit, still involve Darnell because it worked versus the Vikings, maybe involve Anderson more. That duo of Anderson and Darnell together, that helped greatly with the rushing attack. Maybe incorporate that.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
And run opposite from Myles Garrett. Not to underestimate the other guys on the other side, but staying away from Myles Garrett
that's the game plan.
Number 1 priority.
I mean, the opposing offenses stay away from Watt's side when they go up against Steelers defense. Our game plan should be the same with Garrett. It really should be.
Yeah.
That should be what I think is the main approach offensively. But it all starts up front. It all starts up front. And that's why the Browns' defense is ranked as high as it is. Their record doesn't show for it because their offense sucks. But that's the reason why their defense is ranked as highly as it is, because that defensive line, that front seven mainly, it all starts up front with the Steelers, man. It really does. And same thing from the defensive side.
Big time.
You got to stop Judkins. You got to stop Garrett. You do that, I love the Steelers' chances, especially at home, especially against a rookie quarterback. If the defense stays as strong as they have been the last 2 games, then I think we can walk out 4-1 heading into a short week.
Yeah, pretty much.
On Thursday night, which, I mean, I don't want to jump ahead for the Bengals game, but Thursday night games don't bode well for the Steelers and Tomlin, do they?
No.
They don't. So they got to go in with a little bit of confidence, a little more energy, a little more momentum, right? I would love nothing more than win 3 straight.
They have the momentum right now, but they just got to keep riding that momentum. They got to contain that momentum, if you know what I mean.
Considering where the AFC North is right now, this is a prime opportunity for the Steelers to take command with that division.
But just like the title of this live stream says, don't take the Browns lightly.
No.
They may be starting a rookie quarterback who will be a second career start. They may be 4-1, but that doesn't mean that you could just think, oh, this is an easy win. This is an easy challenge. No. In the end, this is AFC North football. And the Browns, man, they're going to want to try to get back in the win column. They suffered 2 straight losses. They're going to want to try to bounce back. They're going to want to rain on the Steelers parade. So the Steelers, they can't take them lightly. No,
they can't. It's gonna be an interesting game, man. Either way, this is AFC North football. Any given Sunday, any team can win at any point. In fact, here's another stat for you. The Browns have not won in Pittsburgh since, of course, that 2020 playoff game.
2020, yes.
But if we're talking regular season-wise, maybe I'm penny pinching the stat here, but if we're talking regular season-wise, the Browns haven't beat the Steelers in the regular season game since 2003.
In Pittsburgh, that was 22 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I can't tell you who the quarterback was, nor do I care for the Browns.
Not going to tell you either.
No.
Not going to tell you either. Let's see where the poll is now. How many takeaways by the Steelers defense versus the Browns? 39% say 2.
Still 2, and you know what? I can see it happening.
I can see it happening too, man. I feel like Dillon Gabriel's he's limited in a lot of ways. His arm isn't the greatest. His actually down the field is very rough. If they try to open that, I think that's a great opportunity for the Steelers to take advantage and create some turnovers. Whether that's with the blitzes, whether that's with coverage disguises, if they want to do that, right? More Jabril Peppers would be great alongside someone like Elliott.
Yeah.
We got JPJ back. We're going to have Brandon Eccles in the slot, filling in for Ramsey. We still got Darius Slay. The defensive matchup looks favorable. As long as you slow down Judkins, this defense can come away with another really good game.
Yeah, I do like the chances defensively.
Yeah.
It just starts with slowing down Judkins, really.
It does. We will be free, says Darnell, like a box of family-sized Lay's chips. Yeah, I mean, either way, I mean, you're going to get something great out of him, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. That man is not 275, by the way.
No, he's got to be close to 300.
No, he looks much bigger. I mean, he's a big dude, but 275, there's no way.
Yeah.
But he moves quite fluidly for a man of his size.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not the most athletic, but for his size, I mean, he's probably the most fluid dude I could imagine.
For his size, yes.
Yes.
Like, okay, let's put it this way. If you ask him to run a post route, he's not going to cut fluidly with those hips.
No.
But you get him something short and let him use his size and his yak ability, his dominant stature, he'll get you something.
But it's like, I think it was his last catch versus the Vikings. It was toward the sideline, the left sideline. But, like, he was even making defenders move with how fluid he was moving. I'm like, yo, like, you're this big guy and you're moving just so fluidly. Like,
yeah,
I'm impressed. But, like, there's no way he's 275. He's much bigger.
He's not 275. Whatever he is, he's a dominant football player.
He's a dog. He's a hell of a football player.
And the Steelers are going to rely on him heavily like they did versus the Vikings. He had almost 50 snaps.
A legit bulldog.
So Darnell, more snaps for him is a good thing. It's a plus. So keep Darnell on the field as much as possible, especially on Garrett's side. Whether that's chipping him, whether that's blocking him with Garrett, or Garrett against Fatanu, or Garrett against Broderick. Yeah. Either way, keep Darnell on the field.
And I'll tell you what, like if he was with any other team, he'd be a starting tight end. He'd be listed as a starting tight end.
He could be our starting tight end.
He could be. Just like Nick Herbert could be our starting edge rusher.
Yes, he can.
Just like both of them.
Somber in the chat says they didn't do it during the snow game. But the second game, they put Washington on the left, and Garrett only had 2 pressures, I believe. Wow. Well, there's the proof is there. The proof is there. If you double or triple team Garrett with a tight end or whatever, especially a guy like Washington, Garrett has little impact.
Yes.
So, yeah, you stop him, you minimize his impact, then offensively, you might get something going. That should be their main approach is, how do we stop Myles Garrett? How do we help out a guy like Broderick Jones? Darnell's the answer. Darnell is that guy.
Well, this ain't the first time the Steelers have gone up against Garrett, obviously. So, like, they should have an understanding or an idea of, okay, this is what we need to do to slow him down, to limit him.
Sure.
But I can say the same thing for Garrett of how he's going to try to get around that. It's going to be an interesting matchup, though.
It is. Why do I see the first play will be a play-action pass, so end with a Garrett sack, says S-Dad. I wouldn't be shocked. That's how the Vikings game started.
It did.
We still had a good game, so maybe that's how the game starts. Maybe not. Either way,
the first play doesn't always mean doom. It doesn't.
I'm happy says think Steelers will win, but Browns won't make it easy. No, they won't.
No, this ain't like old school Big Ben dominating the Browns type style.
Whether the Browns don't make it easy, whether the Steelers coaching keeps the Browns in the game, whatever it's going to be, it's AFC North football and it's stressful Steelers football at the end of the day.
It's going to be nail biting, dude.
Yes, it is. And I'm ready for it because as much as stressful Steelers football makes me grow some grays, it's always something entertaining about it that brings you back. I can't explain it. It's just one of those things like, I just got to watch. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's a Steelers fan in me. I just can't look. It's like a bad car crash you just can't look away from.
It's worth it if you're strong enough.
If you're strong enough, yes. We got Breezy, 420. We need to keep winning and just need the Ravens to keep losing. Yes. Yeah, and they got a great chance of losing this Sunday versus the Rams because Lamar didn't practice today.
For 2 straight days.
Lamar's not playing. They're going to have Cooper Rush again. And that defense sucks. The Ravens defense is awful.
Yeah, they could very well go 1-5 before the bye.
Wow.
The Ravens, man, wow.
But their bye week, man, comes at a good time because they'll be getting healthier and their schedule gets a lot lighter.
Sure.
So, yeah, they might be sitting at 1-5. You got to figure out how many more losses are they going to take before stretching out the playoff chances. But the schedule lightens them a lot with the AFC North, most of their games coming up there, and then the schedule definitely looks a little easier. So if they get healthier and fix up a lot of the defensive mishaps, Ravens still could come back. If they run the table for the most part, they can absolutely come back. They have a great chance. Their season's not over. The Bengals, I'm going to say their season's over.
Dude, Joe Flacco's their quarterback.
Yeah.
It's over.
Joe Flacco might not even last through the game versus the Packers.
It's over, dude.
Their line sucks. You're gonna ask a 40-year-old Joe Flacco to do something behind that line.
I don't think the Bengals really thought thoroughly on who to replace Jake Browning.
Like Flacco has better weapons, he has better passing weapons, but he doesn't have a better line and doesn't have a better running game.
No.
Behind that line,
and he's not mobile.
No, he's not. So behind that line, I don't know if Flacco lasts long.
You figured they could have looked for somebody more mobile, more capable.
Yeah, Russ. Let's just moonball it 18 times a game.
No,
one of these
they didn't want Russ. They were like, Joe, you want to stay in Ohio? All right, come here. We'll give you 16, which, by the way, looks weird.
S-Dad says, the momentum is there. I hate when the media inflates the Steelers. They usually shrink in the baby nuts. You're not wrong. Maybe that's what happened to the Ravens. Everyone was inflating the Ravens, myself included, and look where they're at.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel with the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things like, hey, overrated much, huh?
Listen, I always prefer to be the underdogs.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we won Super Bowl 40. Darnell Washington is going to line up wherever Garrett does. He's going to block him on every play and then slips out for a touchdown in the red zone, says Scott Adkins.
Honestly, Scott, hell yeah. That's what the Steelers should do.
I love that idea.
Even if Garrett moves over to the right side, you move Garrett.
Yeah.
Or you move Washington where Garrett is.
Right.
You should do that.
Somber says, Echols on Njoku or Fannin worries me. I would have Elliott on him. Personally.
Honestly, him or Peppers.
Peppers up in dime packages? Yeah, bring on Peppers.
Honestly, I would have Peppers play a lot more in this game because I don't think he had one defensive snap versus the Vikings.
Not one?
I think he primarily played special teams.
That's a crime.
It is. I mean, this is a man that was drafted by the Browns in the same draft class of Garrett and Njoku.
This is...
And Peppers is still a good player. It's not like he regressed.
No.
For some reason, the Patriots decided to move on from him. I think they're kind of regretting it a little bit.
Well, Juan Thornhill's seeing less snaps. I guess Chuck Clark is now our starter. Is he our starter?
I'm going to be real. I'm not that confident in that.
Me neither.
I'm not. I'd rather just go with the duo of Elliott and Peppers.
Yeah,
and Peppers can play free safety.
And then I would have Thornhill split with Peppers because I think Thornhill is still a good guy in the box.
Yeah.
A good guy in the slot.
Yeah. I would honestly have Peppers play more, give him the snaps, and just see if he can have the opportunity to keep that starting role.
Yeah, agreed.
That's just the way I see it. But no, play Peppers more.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to try to limit Judkins or stop the run here. Peppers can do that.
For sure. I mean, they have the veterans in there to limit such figures against the opposing offense. It's just a matter of giving those guys the reps, right?
Sure.
Is there a possibility, is there a chance we could get Dexter Lawrence and Darius Slayton? No chance we get Slayton, or I'm sorry, no chance we get Lawrence. There was always a chance we can get Slayton, but now he's hurt, and Malik Neighbors is hurt and out all year, so I doubt we get Slayton.
The Giants are going to need all hands on deck at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who's their number 2? Wouldn't that be Rondale Robinson? Wouldn't he be the number 1 now?
He would have to be the number 1 tonight versus the Eagles.
He's a good receiver. He's very talented. He's heavily targeted too. Is he a number 1? He's going to have to prove it.
He's just a dependable slot guy. He's someone you throw the ball to and you don't expect him to drop it.
No.
You know, he's a very good possession receiver.
Well, Dart's going to have to look his way a lot.
Well, for certain reasons. Yeah.
Okay, I see what
certain reasons for me.
Yes.
For me.
You already put them out, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't have to worry about it later. Steelers need to call that up in the middle blitz by Queen twice every game. At least 3 times. Let's raise it up a bit to 3 times. Or if you want, buff to blitz with Queen and then blitz Wilson. Because then at some point, someone in the interior, where that's the either guard or the center, they got to pick, who am I going to protect? Who's going to actually blitz?
Yeah.
If you buff the blitz with Queen and put him back in zone to play that middle, and then you got Wilson blitzing interior, someone's going to miss their assignment. Yeah, Wilson's got the speed to get up to the quarterback real quick, or vice versa.
Yeah, that's some defensive trickery right there. I actually kind of like that.
Yeah. I want to see more blitz packages for Elliott as well. I've been preaching that since Elliott joined the Steelers, and they didn't do it last year. They did it a lot versus the Vikings, and that was to great success.
Yeah. But I do like that they're blitzing Patrick Queen more because for some reason they opted not to do that last year. And Queen was of no impact last year. He was solid, but of no impact. I would say he has more impact this year because of the incorporation of blitzing Queen. Yeah. Which is what they need to continue to do because it's working.
Let's see. If the Ravens lose the next 2 games, you have to put their tombstone up on the back. Okay. I'll do that for you. I might have to go back to Spirit Halloween now.
We were just there and we were looking at tombstones. We were like, nah, maybe another time.
Yeah, I'll just slap a Ravens logo on. That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
You know, maybe we should do that for the Bengals and the Browns.
When they play.
Well, we play the Browns this week, so let's say we beat the Browns.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And put it up there.
I see what you mean.
Bengals, let's say we beat the Bengals, but the same thing.
I see what you mean.
Because at that point, that's kind of putting the nail in the coffin on their season.
Yeah,
right?
as a matter of fact, doesn't Garrett every Halloween have like a quarterback graveyard?
Yeah.
Decorated.
Every quarterback he sacked, he has a graveyard decoration.
Maybe we should do something back here, huh?
We'll just put it in the background.
Yeah.
We'll put a tombstone of the Browns and then the Bengals somewhere up here. It's a good idea.
Why the hell not?
That's a great idea.
Get some thunder sound effects, some strobe lighting, a little bit.
I guess.
No? You gotta go all in with it.
Sure.
I'll just hit the Undertaker theme. Why the hell not?
I'll see what I can do. Maybe get one of those battery-powered light majiggies.
Yeah, maybe a little smoke action.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
No, we don't need to be coughing. We don't need to be coughing.
That's too much. That's too much.
You're right.
What's your thoughts on Tyson Campbell and Greg Newsome trade? I think the Browns lost it. It's an even trade. I get what they're doing. I get what either team's doing. The Jags want to dump off that contract. They needed an upgrade because Campbell's been awful since the contract. And the Browns, I guess they knew they would have to pay Newsome, and they didn't want to. So they figured, you know what? Here, Jags, take him. Either you pay him or he leaves for free agency and the Jags get a comp pick. Either way, I think the Jags win it.
No, Jags got a better cornerback. And they're having a very strong start to their season.
They are.
Props to the Jags for
Were
real.
they 4-1?
4-1, yes. Greg Newsome was 1-4 at the end of the week, and he woke up 4-1. How about Greg Newsome, man? Good for him.
And he gets to play in that nice weather down there in Jacksonville.
Yes, he do.
Yes, he does. So good for him. We won't be seeing Greg Newsome. We'll be seeing Tyson Campbell, which is a much more favorable matchup for the Steelers anyway. I think Campbell's been very off for the last 2 years. Newsome's a stud.
Now, Newsome is a stud, but let's introduce Campbell to AFC North football this Sunday.
Yeah. In fact, DK Metcalf is excited for it. He said this is what he's been told. He said this is where the real football begins. This is where the real football action is. It's AFC North football we're talking about.
Yes.
AFC North football is physical. It's mostly defensive. It's tough. It's down to the wire. It's very competitive. Even though the Browns aren't looking good right now, it's every reason for the Steelers to allow them to be competitive. So you know what we're going to get.
Yes.
And I'm excited for this game. I'm excited to get stressful Steelers football back, as hot as it is. But in this game, I'm very confident. From a defensive side, I'm very confident. Offensively, I'm a little more, I guess, for lack of better terms, worried because of the O-line and what that defense can do and that front seven's capable of by the Browns. But I think we have guys along the line and along the extension of the line to minimize their impact and minimize their ability of getting the A-Rod or limiting the Steelers' offense. So if they go in with a similar game plan like they did versus the Vikings, I think they can find better success. It's just more so adding more to the passing attack to keep the run game going, to keep the offense balanced as a whole. It's going to be tough without a guy like Calvin, but strength in numbers is what I always say.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of the Steelers scheming things up for Roman, for Scotty, for Jonu, for Muth. This will be an interesting game to see who really steps up from a coaching aspect, from a personnel aspect. If Roman gets more reps, he's got to take advantage. Broderick Jones got a big test this Sunday versus Garrett. It's the first of a trio of games where he's really going to be tested. So there's a lot to look forward to in this game outside of it being AFC North football and the Steelers trying to get 3 straight wins back at home.
Yep.
Wouldn't this be their first home game or the first home win this year if they win? Because they lost versus the Pats.
If you don't count the Croke Park game in Ireland, because they were the designated home team, but that exactly wasn't Pittsburgh. It wasn't Heinz Field. So I think, yes, this would technically, if they win.
This would be the first home win this year.
Yes, in Pittsburgh, technically.
So it's every inclination to, that's just more reason to get a victory this Sunday.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Should the Steelers sign Isaiah Simmons? Yeah, they actually hosted him for a visit. What offseason was it? 2023? I forget what offseason it was. There were rumors that the Steelers were looking into Isaiah Simmons, or there were Isaiah Simmons to the Steelers rumors.
Yeah, like trade rumors. I think it was him and Chase Young at the time, if you remember.
I do remember, actually.
Yes. Like there were discussions, rumors, or the Steelers were going to trade for Simmons, who was with the Cardinals at the time, I believe. And, of course, Chase Young, who was a Commander. Obviously, both didn't happen, but, we made a video on it. We talked about it. Talked about those rumors at that time.
Well, Chase Young never made sense because he wasn't a scheme fit. And we had edge rushers at the point.
Yeah, we did.
Isaiah Simmons, he's just one of those guys you just couldn't get it right. So versatile coming out. Well, I believe it was Clemson.
It was Clemson. He was versatile.
So versatile.
Talented as heck, bro. Could play anywhere.
Linebacker, corner, safety, slot. He just couldn't get it right.
He still can't.
No, and at this point, he's a journeyman. He's someone that they're going to rely on just to fill a spot. He has that experience factor. That's about it.
Where all has Isaiah Simmons been anyway?
It's a great question. Obviously, he was drafted by the Cardinals, and that didn't pan out.
Yeah, he was the 8th overall pick by the Cardinals. He was a Cardinal, then he was a Giant for like 2 years, and then he was part of the Packers this offseason, but he didn't make the final team. So he's available.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, he has just not amounted to much, which is unfortunate because the guy is hella talented.
Yeah.
He's just not getting it all together.
And
he's only 27 years old.
I know. That's another thing is so much pedigree. Just never could get anything down.
No.
I would sign him to the practice squad.
I don't think it hurt.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't. They brought back Jacoby Windman, so it wouldn't hurt to bring in Simmons. He just fills a practice squad spot. Worst case, he plays special teams. He's got the speed to do that.
If anything.
Doesn't hurt a soul. So why not? What's the loss there? Nothing. There's no loss there. So yeah, I think I'd do it. Why not? Maybe he builds his way up to a definitive roster spot.
If the workout went well, that is.
Yeah. What would you give up for Jalen Waddle? He and DK are both 26 years old. He's making about $20 million per year. Waddle's only 26? Why do I feel like he's been in here longer?
What year was he drafted?
I'm going to make a prediction and say he was 2020.
Not Warren, Waddle.
I'm going to say 2022. He was drafted. It was actually 2021.
2021.
I was wrong.
6th overall pick.
He's been in the league 5 years now.
Yep. And he had 1,000 yards within his first 3 years. He only had 700, but he was injured last year.
I would trade a 3rd-round pick for Jalen Waddle. We're already going to get a 3rd-round pick for Dan Moore. So that's
honestly, I think that's reasonable. I think the Dolphins would actually take that.
What do we have? We have a 3rd-round pick comp coming for Dan Moore. We have a 3rd-round pick from trading George Pickens. We have our own 3rd-round pick.
Aren't we supposed to be getting something from Fields? If he has
at most, probably a 4th for him.
Even then, that's something.
And then with Russ, I think.
Well, that ain't happening.
I think minimum we can get a 6 out of him.
Well, Russ, that ain't happening because he's benched.
No,
that ain't happening.
Yeah, we got 3 3rd-rounders projected next year. I'd trade one.
Why the hell not? I mean, what the hell are the Dolphins doing?
Nothing. Mike McDaniel's going to be fired by at least week 12. He's going to be fired by week 12.
I mean,
he'll find a very good offensive coordinating spot somewhere.
The Dolphins are just a mess. And
Tyreek Hill is out for the year, and he's gone after this season.
And listen, I was just about to bring that up. They're going to need Waddle now as their number 1. But Tua's not lighting the league on fire. He's not lining it up.
Never did.
Their star on offense is their running back.
Oh, and there was some false report that said, team's interested in Devin Achin. Well, hold on.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. It was on Twitter.
In regards to the Steelers?
Yeah, let me find it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know who's Finn's extra.
On Twitter.
Apparently, Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have all been named as potential landing spots for Devin Achin.
Okay, the Chiefs. The Chiefs I can see. That's just, it's the Chiefs. The Packers, no, because they got Jacobs.
The Chargers make sense because they're without 2 of their top backs. Steelers, no. First of all, this is all false. There's no legitimate source. This is a false report. Do not believe it. Half of these don't even make sense.
No, they don't. Like, if it was just the Chiefs and the Chargers, that's more believable. I'm like, yeah, I'm inclined to believe that. But the Packers, no, they don't need it. And the Steelers, I mean, they already extended Warren. They love Warren.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere.
Gainwell stepped up versus the Vikings, and they still have Johnson.
If there's someone from the Dolphins I want, it's Waddle. Imagine him and DK, bro. They are so complementary to each other. You bring more speed. You got Waddle's route running ability.
Now,
field stretching.
It's one of those I'll believe it when I see it situations. That's just going to be the case with wide receiver until the Steelers finally have a guy that can fill that role consistently.
Well, who else is out there? I know people were putting out Rashid Shaheed of the
Saints. That I would not mind.
You mentioned it last week.
I would not mind. He's very capable. Good deep threat, good size, and a special teams guy at that too.
There's Chris Olave, but 6-7 concussions since entering the NFL. I'm out on him. I can't deny the talent, but I can't look past the concussions.
No.
One more, and then, bro, it's like one of those commercials from the 80s and 90s. This is your brain on drugs, and it's egg yolk and frying pan.
Yeah. Dude, I'm looking at the Dolphins team right now. They might as well just scrap everything.
Yeah.
They might as well just scrap everything, dude.
Well, that franchise sucks.
Yeah.
Ownership, coaching sucks. They haven't been nothing in years.
No.
And there's a reason. There's a reason they had don't they still have the longest playoff win drought in the league right now? It was the Bills, isn't it? The Dolphins now?
I thought it was the Jets.
Okay, that makes sense.
I thought it was the Jets.
I thought it was the Dolphins. Hold on.
Maybe it is the Dolphins.
It's the Dolphins.
It is?
Yeah, they haven't won a playoff game since 2000.
Yeah, because the Jets, they at least won the divisional playoff game in 2010. I think as a matter of fact, no, I think the Jets are the team with the longest drought without a playoff appearance. I think that's what it is.
Yes,
currently.
yes. Without a playoff appearance.
But playoff win, that's the Dolphins.
Yes.
Funny enough, both AFC East teams.
Yeah, the Jets are going on 14 seasons now. Their last playoff game was, of course, the 2010 AFC Championship game, which the Steelers won on their way to a Super Bowl 45 loss, which I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, we got that quarterback.
Yes, we do. He's got to fulfill the prophecy, doesn't he? What was hold on, 2000, was that the wild card game?
I would assume. The Dolphins playoff win.
That was their last.
That was when they faced Peyton Manning.
That was their last playoff. Was that a playoff game? Hold on. Yeah, that was their last playoff win, which was December 30th, 2000.
That was when they had playoff games back in December. That was before the Super Bowl went to February. That was when the Super Bowl was at the end of January every year.
Their quarterback was Jay Fiedler.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Who's Jay Fiedler?
I don't know.
Who?
Wow. Yeah, just scrap everything, dude. Go away.
I'd take Waddle. I'd take Waddle off their hands.
Give me Waddle, dude.
But it's like I'll believe it when I see it still.
Give me Waddle. I love Waddle. Reminds me of the Pirates. Yeah. That's another team that just needs to sell the team, bro. Sell the team, dude. What is he doing?
Bob Nutting?
Yeah, what is he doing?
Just staring.
God.
Shout out to Paul Skeens, though.
Yeah.
Definitely their best
He's
player.
winning in every aspect.
Yes, he is.
I heard maybe Alvin Kamara. I could see Kamara being traded, but why would the Steelers trade for him? Why would they trade for a running back?
Now that I can see, that's a player I can see the Chargers trying to obtain. That's just another target for the Chargers. That's who I can see.
Well, I think the Chargers need to more so worry about their line, specifically center.
Did they lose their tackle too, Joe Alt? Because they lost Slater at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Did they lose Alt too?
Yeah, Justin Herbert he's
kind of screwed.
He's getting hit a lot.
Yeah.
So I think they should be more so focused on line help. I don't know where that would be, but yeah, that's where their focus should be.
Yeah.
I get they're going to need a running game, and their starting right now is Hassan Haskins out of Michigan.
I remember him.
So do I. He's got ties with, of course, which one is it? Jim? I think it's Jim.
Yeah, it's Jim, yeah.
I always get them mixed up.
It's Jim.
Pretty sure it's Jim. Got ties with him, but that's the extent of it.
Well, it's time to get him back going.
Would Kevin Stefanski be added to the list of NFL worst head coaches? No. Well, two Coach of the Year awards, you kind of can't do that. And he's been the longest tenured Browns head coach since they came back in 99.
I mean, he's just weird, though.
But he's definitely on the hot seat. He's definitely on the hot seat.
He's just an odd coach. Like, he has his moments and he has his years, obviously. But then there's years it's just like, Stefanski, like, what's your vision for the team? Like,
well, he has no playoff wins either.
He does not, no.
No.
He doesn't.
Kevin Stefanski has no playoff wins.
He's coached 2 playoff
Wrong.
games.
He has 1. I'm sorry. 1.
Does he? Was it that Steelers one? I don't think he didn't coach that.
He wasn't the head coach for that.
No, he wasn't. But I guess they're going to credit him that game. He didn't coach it, though. It was the interim, whoever he was.
I don't know.
I don't know either. He didn't coach that one, which just makes the loss even more depressing. But
yeah, well, to my recollection, he doesn't have a postseason win, but I guess they credited him with that Steelers victory.
I wouldn't.
He wasn't there. He had COVID.
He had COVID. He was watching the game in his basement.
Wow. You see, they approved college football teams to bet. Did they?
What? They did?
That doesn't surprise me. Everything's all about money over there now. The whole NIL agreements and all that. That doesn't surprise me.
I wouldn't have done that. As a matter of fact, the injury report for the Steelers, it came out just now.
Okay, good. All right, Rob has the latest injury report for Sunday.
Yes. So Metcalf did not participate, but it's a resting day, so calm down. Jalen Ramsey with a hamstring did not participate for a second straight day.
Yeah, he's not going to play.
Skoranek, he had an illness. He was limited yesterday, but he was full today, so Skoranek seems good to go. Calvin Austin with the shoulder injury did not participate for a second straight day.
Calvin won't play.
Darius Slay was full. He came back from a resting day. JPJ was a full participant again.
Attaboy.
Jalen Warren was a full participant again. Alex Highsmith, he was a limited participant yesterday. Today, he was a full participant.
Alex Highsmith looks like he will be back.
Watt was a full participant coming back from a resting vet day, and Hayward did not participate with a resting vet day off.
Okay.
So that's the injury report in regards to the Steelers.
One, I think there's too many vet rest days, but it's all positive. We already knew Calvin Austin and Jalen Ramsey weren't going to play. They were going to be out, according to Jerry Dulock as of last week, multiple weeks.
Yeah.
So they could be back for the Sunday night game. I don't think they'll be back for the Thursday game versus the Bengals.
I wouldn't rush them.
No, me neither.
It's the Bengals.
That's the point. It's the Bengals.
Yeah, but
it's on the road, and it's Mike Tomlin on Thursday night.
And yeah, Joe Flacco. Remember last time we faced Joe Flacco?
Yes.
Not to bring it up, but it's like, to be fair, but I don't know, dude.
That just comes off as a typical play down your competition sort of game.
But the Bengals aren't good.
Exactly.
But I'm not trying to underestimate. That's for next week.
We lost to Ryan Finley on Monday night years ago. Remember that? I'm not underestimating nobody ever again.
That's fair.
Where the hell is he at?
That's fair. I should know better.
Where's he at?
I don't. Do you want me to search it up?
I still remember the Ryan Mallett game versus the Ravens in 2015. Rest in peace.
May he rest in peace, man.
Yeah, I could continue going on, man. So you can't take anything lightly. You can't underestimate nobody. You can't play down the competition, and that's for the Browns game, and that's for the Bengals literally a week from now.
Ryan Finley has not been a part of a team since 2021. He was a part of the Texans offseason.
Wow. But yeah, Warren will be back. JPJ will be back. Highsmith looks like he'll be back. So if the Steelers want to entertain those three edge blitzes, whether that's Highsmith or Herbig coming in through the blitz interior or whatever gap they want to put the one guy through, they've been itching to get that going. This might be the game they finally do it. The thing is, can someone stay healthy long enough for it to be a long-term thing for the defense? Because every time Highsmith comes back, Herbig gets hurt. When Herbig gets back, Highsmith gets hurt. We saw that too much last year.
Knock on wood.
Can we finally, for once, break the streak and these guys be a whole tandem or a trio for a decent amount of time?
Basically, this whole 13-game stretch.
We're going to need it. That's just going to add more to the blitz packages.
We're going to need them both. And I hope they find a way to utilize both of them and not limit one because one's back.
Even if Highsmith plays, I don't know if he'll be 100%. So I would still give Highsmith and Herbig like a 55-50, a 50-50 sort of, snap count. Like a 55-45.
A snap split.
Or a 50-50 sort of situation, right? Between Herbig and Highsmith, and with preferably Herbig getting the majority of them, right?
I mean, Herbig has earned that right to be on that football field or even stay on that football field.
Same thing with Darnell. I wouldn't take him off the field.
No, that's another man that's earned that right.
Those are two guys that have really added to both sides of the ball. There's no reason to take them off the field. None at all.
No.
It's not broke, don't fix it, right? Keep them on the field. They are much needed adds. They're different dominant presence to what they do.
And those are two players. Were they part of the same draft class too?
Of course they were.
Those were two guys that projectedly weren't supposed to be where the Steelers selected them. And both picks the Steelers got back later.
Yeah, they did. Same thing with Keanu Benton. He had a great game versus the Vikings. Let's scheme him up the same way. Put him at the 2I or the 1 or preferably the 3. Sure, Benton is just itching to continue to build off of what he did, which was far and away his best game versus the Vikings.
Oh, without a doubt. And Derek Harmon, just first two games, I mean, the guy's been a stud.
You got KT Leviston.
He's not
left
good.
Tackle.
He's not good.
I don't know who this man is.
He's not good, I'll tell you that. He's got like 4 penalties and 3 sacks.
He was a 7th-round pick of the Rams just last year.
And the Rams.
He's already on the Browns.
Yeah, dude, he's not good. Whether it's Highsmith or Herbig are both going up against this guy, it's a favorable matchup in my opinion. The guy's filling in for DeJuan Jones, who they moved from right to left because Jack Conklin's back healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's favorable for DeJuan because of his big size and limitations, but the Browns doing the Browns stuff. But he's on IR, so they got this guy stepping in. But they also traded for Cam Robinson from the Texans.
Right.
But they're not incorporating him in early because he only had 7 snaps last week.
Wow.
So it's like, I don't even know what the Browns are doing. But nonetheless, whoever the left tackle is, if it is Leviston, that's a favorable matchup in my opinion. Because the guy filling in, he hasn't really been great for the Browns.
Yeah.
That's definitely a weak point. That's a weak link. And the Steelers got to find a way to attack that heavily.
Yeah, there's a lot in this game that leads me to be excited and leads me to think, hey, the Steelers can come away with a victory. But we know how the Steelers play sometimes. We know how they play down the competition, and we all know what AFC North football is all about. So you can go in as confident as you want. I'm not expecting a blow-away victory. I'm not expecting a blowout here. I am expecting a win, though, because obviously they have to win. This is against an AFC North opponent. They got to take command of that division right now. They're coming off the bye. They're getting some guys back. The defense has been playing really good the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
You got the offense finally starting to find a little bit of balance. There's a ton to grow upon. There's a ton to build off of, and no better than against the Browns this upcoming Sunday. I'm very excited for it.
Yes. It's like Andre Green in the chat says right here. The Steelers have had 2 weeks to get ready for this Cleveland game on Sunday. There are no excuses. You win this game.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct. But it is almost 4 o'clock here, so we want to thank you guys for staying with us on the X and the YouTube side. How long have we been live? Almost
an hour and a half.
Okay, that's not too bad. Live almost an hour and a half. We got We got Thursday Night Football tonight, which should be pretty entertaining, man. Very much like the Browns and the Steelers. We got a divisional matchup tonight to kick off week 6. Already week 6 of the NFL season. We are almost a third of the way through the NFL season already, which is crazy. It's already flying, right? We're already at week 6.
Yes.
But we got Thursday Night Football, man, which leads me to our sponsor of today's video. Huge shout out to Profit X for sponsoring with us on this live stream. You see on Profit X, they have all of the wagers, all of the money lines, all of the numbers already here for all of the week 6 games, including tonight. Eagles and Giants. But out of curiosity, the Browns and the Steelers are 5.5-point favorites. So if you think the Steelers can win by more than that, feel free to take their spread. Or if you just think the Steelers could win at home, take the money line over at -250. But since it's Thursday night and we got some exciting football tonight, hopefully exciting football, the Eagles are heavy favorites, 7.5-point favorites. Wow. Honestly, man, the Eagles, they're good. I don't think they're the superpowers they were last year because of the injuries on the line. They're not really getting A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith involved a lot. Barkley hasn't really had the lightning crazy game that we're used to. Maybe that happens tonight. But it's in New York. The Giants spread, I do kind of like. I think they'll keep it within a touchdown or so. So I kind of like their spread. But a really cool thing about Profit X you guys should definitely check out is you guys can request your own odds. So you guys can still take whatever odds you want regarding what the house put or other users that use Profit X. But if you don't like the odds, request your own. So Saquon Barkley to score the first touchdown of the game. First of all, they have anytime touchdown scorers. But to make it more interesting, they have the first touchdown. Barkley is plus 370 to be the first touchdown of the game. Now, this could go to anybody regarding any team. I don't think it will be Barkley. Something tells me Hurts is going to sneak in for a score. So I'm going to request that no, Barkley will not score the first touchdown. And you can request your own odds here. So if it is a yes with 370, I'm going to go with a no and put plus 500. Because why not, right? I think those are favorable odds there. Let's put plus 500. And you guys can put any stake you want on there, man. With Profit X, they are America's #1 sports prediction market where you can win real money predicting sports in 40-plus states. They are a peer-to-peer sports prediction exchange where users play against each other instead of playing against the house, which means you get better value, real competition, and it just makes the entire game or all Sunday much more exciting. Sign up now at ProfitX.co. Use our exclusive promo code SteelTwins when signing up and claim up to $200 and profit cash on all plays for the first 30 days playing on the site. So huge shout out and huge thank you to Profit X for sponsoring with us on this live stream.
Yes, sir.
Before we get on out of here, man, I want to get one more poll in the chat. One more. And it's going to be very entertaining.
By the way, I see I Am Happy says this is Thornhill's revenge game. What about Peppers? What about Peppers' revenge
If
game?
he plays.
Peppers? He's not hurt.
I'm saying he might not play because they might not play him at all.
Well, they better play him. They should. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Hey, why not both?
Why not both? Yeah.
Why not both?
Why
I
not?
totally forgot Thornhill was a Brown last year.
Yes,
or the
he
last
was.
2 years.
He was, yes. He was their starter for the past number of years.
There's a new poll in the chat for you guys because this is Steelers Browns we're talking about. We got to make it a little controversial. Who has more sacks in the game, TJ Watt or Myles Garrett? From a bias aspect, you know exactly where I'm going with this.
I have a feeling this will be a very lopsided poll here, but you never know.
We'll see, man. We'll get you guys polls in the chat. Scott Adkins says, Steelers need to play physical with the Browns in every game here on out. Browns will give the Steelers a chance to bury them early, and they have to capitalize on it. Don't let them hang around. Couldn't agree more, Scott.
Yes.
And that's with any team. Not just the Browns, but the Bengals in a week from now. And the Packers is going to be one tough cookie to face. They're going to be one tough block of cheese, literally. It's at Heinz Field. They are going to be wearing their 33 throwbacks, which will be very interesting to see live under the lights on Sunday night. But I think with 2 straight wins against AFC North opponents and then maxing out with 4 straight victories, that's all the momentum to go into primetime versus an already Super Bowl favorite. So, yeah, these wins absolutely matter in the next couple of weeks for a lot of reasons. You got to keep stacking wins. You got to take command of that division. You got to build some momentum and some chemistry going, right? Keep building on what you've been doing. You got to go into Sunday night versus the Packers. First of all, it's Green Bay versus their former quarterback.
Yes.
That story alone.
That would be, if A-Rod stays healthy, knock on wood, that would be the first time A-Rod faces the Packers since being traded away.
Yes.
He has not done that as a Jet. He has the chance to do that as a Steeler.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that would make him, I want to say, the 3rd or 4th quarterback to beat all 32 teams. That's Breeze, Brady, and Manning. I think that's the only team. I think
Ain't Favre in there?
Favre, yeah, 4.
Favre's in there.
So I think if Rodgers does it Sunday night versus the Packers, which isn't going to be easy, I think they make him 5. Because I don't think Matt Ryan beat the Falcons, and I don't think Phillip Rivers beat the Chargers. I don't think so.
Not that I can remember. I couldn't tell you. You might be right on that.
Quarterbacks to beat all 32 NFL teams. I'll be curious. Yeah, only 4. Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. That's it.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has a prime chance to be the 5th. So that's a lot of stake there.
That's a lot of drama already for Sunday night.
But, you know, Steelers got to keep building themselves and keep building everything to allow them to get a victory like that, because I believe momentum is absolutely a game changer.
Yeah.
They have momentum right now. They can't let that distract them. They might be sitting good now, but that's not every reason to go in lightly. No.
Can't afford to do that.
No. Not these next 2 weeks.
No.
Not leading up to that Packers game. Raven there, good seeing you in the chat, man. Hope all is well over there at Keystone. Tie 0-0.
He hopes for a tie, yeah. With no score.
It's not going to be a tie.
No, not like the last time we tied with the Browns.
No, sir. I am not dressing in brown this week. No. And I'm enjoying every second of it.
Yes.
Every second of it.
As he should. It's a well-deserved
time off.
Yes.
Yes.
Relaxation right there.
Very well deserved. Very honestly, I'm just enjoying it. I'm not looking forward to coming back.
Don't try not to think too much about that.
Well, it's already Thursday. It's already more than halfway through Thursday. We got one more day, and then the weekend. And then the weekend's going to fly by. Well, for I know, I'll be up Monday morning, back to reality. You too.
Yeah, me too. You know.
I don't look forward to it.
No, but enjoy the rest while we have it.
Absolutely. The Browns beat the Pack, so anything is possible. You're correct. Any given Sunday. I'm glad Ben never got that chance to beat the Steelers. Steeler for life. No. Yeah, he never wanted his name on the back of another team's jersey. I think he admitted when his contract ran out, he thought about it, because I think teams reached out to him. He thought about it. He just couldn't do it.
I think Ben said that the Niners reached out.
Yeah.
I think it was before Purdy
started.
Yeah, and really broke out. I think they reached out and Ben was like, "No, I'm good."
That wouldn't have worked.
No, it would not.
Him and a Kyle Shanahan offense, no.
No.
That wouldn't have worked. I mean, I'm sure Kyle Shanahan would have figured out ways to get the ball out of Ben's hands pretty quick and allow the players to do whatever they had to, but that wouldn't have worked.
No, I mean,
and that would have looked disgusting.
Yes, it would have. I mean, at that point, and Ben knew himself. It was time. It was done.
Yeah, I guess shouldn't this be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Ben Roethlisbergers? Because that's what the Browns should name their team after their father, right? Isn't that how it works? You kind of just name it after your dad and get the bloodlines going.
Well, Watt's the new owner too, or co-owner, I should say.
Watt is a co-owner. He
always has good games against the Browns.
He's a Browns killer. Yes, he is. Warren's even had great games versus the Browns.
Yes, he has.
He's had some very good games versus the Browns before. You know, one of the best Steelers versus Browns games I'll never forget. Actually, there's first of all, there's several. There is several I can name, but we'll be here all night. There's two at the top of my head. One is Ben's last home game. That was the most emotional night I was ever as a Steelers fan.
Yes.
Najee went off. Ben's last home game, and man, I still feel the emotion sometimes.
Went to bed crying, dude.
The second one is when Landry Jones started, but Ben was active as the backup because of injury. Landry Jones got hurt. Ben came in and went off.
Yeah.
Him and AB connected.
Of course.
The offense as a whole dominated with Ben as the backup. Landry Jones technically got his first career win as a starter because of Ben.
He was a part of 2 offensive drives, and that was it.
Yeah.
Ben came in, and that was probably the one of the better backup performances technically.
That was 2015.
Yes.
I forget what week.
I think it was after that Raiders game, which was also a Heinz Field, when AB went off. He had like 284 yards.
Johnny Manziel started that game.
Yeah.
Johnny Football.
I remember that ball slipped out of his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben,
Johnny, wow.
Ben threw for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 379 yards. Martavis Bryant. Oh, God, this is so sad. Martavis Bryant had 6 catches, 178 yards, and a tutty.
My God.
Antonio Brown had 10 catches, 139 yards, and 2 tutties. Even Heath Miller had 4 catches for 40 yards. Oh, I miss those days, man. God, I miss those days.
Yeah, those days are long gone, bro.
Even the defense played good, bro. They only allowed 9 points. Wow.
Yeah, only 9.
Defense got 5 sacks in that game.
Yeah.
Arthur Moat, shout out to Moats, and Jarvis Jones split for a sack. Stephon Tuitt, miss him, had a sack. Cameron Hayward had a sack. Ryan Shazier, definitely miss him, had a sack. And, of course, Law Dog, Lawrence Timmons, had a sack. Yeah, that defense didn't have a lot to be proud of, but Timmons, Shazier, Hayward, Tuitt, a young Dupree. This was before Watt. This was a year and a half before Watt.
Yes.
Dang, man. Yeah, those are just 2 of the top games, Steelers versus Browns that I really do remember.
Yep.
There's a ton. I could be here all night, but those are the top 2 that come to mind very easily. That was interesting. Yeah, Bryant was unreal, man. I really do miss Bryant. I just one of the biggest what ifs in the NFL, right?
Yes, of course.
One of the biggest what ifs is, what if he stayed on track? It's almost like Josh Gordon. What if Josh Gordon stayed on track? You're going to have those stories, man. And recently, what if Kyron Lacy didn't get framed? Yeah. What if? He should be in the NFL, man. I don't know if y'all saw that clip of what Ryan Clark said after that Monday night game, but he said it perfectly. It's just one of those things, like, so much talent is out there, and just things go a certain way that's just for one reason or another. But it's not fair. It's not. There's so much talent out there that never got the chance or got the chance but couldn't stay on track, right? Could have been one of the greats. They really could have. You look at a guy like Shazier. He's another one. He was on his way to being one of the best linebackers if he wasn't already in the league. Unfortunately, he suffered a career-ending injury, and I feel like we're still trying to find that answer at linebacker. We might have it in Queen, we might have it in Wilson, but time to tell.
Still too early to tell on that, but yes.
Or Stephon Tuitt. he would still be playing and still be in his prime right now.
Yeah.
It's just, you know.
Stuff happens, bro.
Things happen.
Situations happen. You know, it's unfortunate.
43-0. Browns return to the NFL versus Steelers. Yeah. I was
their first game back in '99.
Yeah, first of all, we were a couple weeks?
Yes.
We were.
I think.
Let me find it.
I think. What day was that game?
September 12th. We weren't even a month old.
No.
We weren't even a month old.
So, yeah. 43-0.
Bettis went off in that game.
Cordell Stewart was the quarterback at the time, of course. Wow.
No, we weren't in the womb. We were out.
We were out.
We were just 3.5, 4 weeks old.
Barely kicking.
So, yeah, no, I don't remember that game.
No.
Do you see us trading for a trenches guy or wide receiver? Kingston, great question. I don't know. I don't know if we trade for anybody.
Well, every AFC North rival has made a trade outside the Steelers.
Yeah, and every AFC North team has had quarterback situations, but the Steelers right now.
Yes.
Funny how that works, right?
Yes, true.
But they have to trade for a receiver. 100%. Will they? I don't know. Because I don't know who's out there.
I mean, time's ticking as far as the trade deadline goes. I think that's early November. November 9th, I want to say. Maybe sooner.
I'll search it up now because I don't even know. I don't even know, but it's coming up. When's the trade deadline? Let me see if I can find it here.
Yeah.
I don't have it off the top of my head. November 4th.
November 4th.
Tuesday, November 4th.
That's what it is.
We're less than a month away from the trade deadline, so
if the Steelers, if they want to look to acquire a guy, it's like, do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, make some calls, have some talks.
Well, I'm sure they've been doing it.
Express some interest.
I'm sure they've been doing it. That's all under the table. That's all behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Right. But if they ever trade for anything or anyone, it's definitely a wide receiver. Definitely a wide receiver.
It ought to be.
I think they like where they're at in the trenches right now. We just don't know what we have a receiver with Roman yet. We might this Sunday. We might not. It might not be till Sunday night. We get Calvin back, so that's essentially a 2-game trial for Roman. Big test for him. Big test for a lot of factors, man. This Sunday, these next 2 weeks, it's a big test for a lot of pieces on this team. It really is.
Yep.
A lot of the young guys, mostly on the offensive side of the ball. Broderick, Roman. I guess I'll throw in Arthur Smith in regards to his coaching, what he can do with the absence of Calvin. Going up against a Browns defense that is very strong right now. It's a lot to watch for in this game, man. It really is. How's he going to open things up? Who's he going to get involved? Who's going to make the most out of their opportunity? How are they going to slow down Garrett? What's the defense going to do? Are they going to incorporate more of the blitzes with Elliott or Queen? What's JPJ going to do with his first game back since week 1, right?
Yeah.
There's a ton to look for in this game. A ton to look for when you add in the fact that it is AFC North football. And it could go either way. I'm not going to go in with a baseline thought, we're winning this game. I'm confident we can, and my prediction is we will win. But you got to go in open-minded because any given Sunday is what they say, right?
Of course.
The Browns' only lone win this year was versus the Packers.
And who would have thought? With Joe Flacco as the quarterback, he's no longer there.
Browns were, the Packers were heavy favorites for that game, and the Browns pulled it off. Who's to say they can't do it this Sunday? Anything's possible.
No. So don't take the Browns lightly, but this coming Sunday versus the Browns, it's not only the Steelers' first AFC North matchup of the season, but it's the start of a long stretch. It starts right here.
The start of 13 straight games. The start of what is going to be 6 AFC North matchups in the next couple months.
And it's going to be challenging. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be tough. They're hardly going to have a break, but the Steelers know this.
Yes.
When the schedule was released, they knew this already. So they just got to go out there. They got to be prepared. They got to be mentally focused. They got to be locked in. They got to get out on that field and do what they need to do to showcase to themselves, to the division, and the NFL that, hey, we are a capable football team.
There is a lot that's going to happen these next 13 weeks, and it all starts this Sunday. How prepared the Steelers are going to be, we're going to see very shortly. But I think this is going to tell a lot about really almost everything with this football team. How legit is the defense? Can Mike Tomlin lead this team to a different result than he has the last 7-8 years? Can the coaching staff step things up? Who on the team is going to take that opportunity or take an opportunity to make the most out of them, right? There's a ton that's going to happen. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. We can only hope for the best. And it starts this Sunday versus the Cleveland Browns at Heinz Field versus Dillon Gabriel. Should be interesting. With that being said, we're going to get on out of here. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us for almost 2 hours. 2 flipping hours, man. Thank y'all for watching us on the YouTube side. On the X side, we appreciate your guys' interactions, your guys' viewership. As always, man, it's great to be back into the preview action, as this is going to be a long next couple months, a long rest of the season. And we're here for it. And we appreciate y'all for being here with us as well, man. So we'll see you this upcoming Sunday for the Steelers versus Browns game at Heinz Field. It should be electric, should be crazy. I'm ready for it. I already got everything prepped out. It's just a matter of getting to the game, getting to Sunday. So until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy the weekend. So up until then, you guys stay safe. You guys be good. Y'all enjoy the rest of yourselves. And we'll see you on Sunday for some more stressful Steelers football. You guys already know. See you in the next one. Love you guys. Follow us on the socials there down in the ticker, as you guys see also in the description box below. Again, huge shout out to Prophet X for sponsoring us on this live stream. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and see you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers. We'll see y'all Sunday.
And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!